The midterms are right around the corner. USA Today has everything you need to know with their voting rights guide. Hollis Towns, Vice President of News and Talent for USA Today, joining me live from New York City. Hello, Hollis. How are you?
Good morning, Adrienne. Good to be here.
Good to see you. Now, in the wake of the 2020 election, of course, everybody is paying attention to what happens in November. And what do you think in terms of which states have made election integrity a top priority?
Well, thank you for the question. It's been really across the country, starting with states like Georgia, where they introduced House Bill 202 that allowed for, more restrictions on folks standing in line to vote or making it difficult for them to have food or water, limited the number of voting hours. In Florida, they've created a police agency for security because they believe that there's election fraud. So those are just a couple of examples of what we're seeing across the country in terms of restrictive laws that have been put into place to, I guess, make it a little more difficult for voters to actually cast a ballot.
Which states passed new laws on mail-in ballots and voting hours?
Well, quite a few of them did. Georgia, for one, is an example of one that did that. Alabama has done that. We've seen that in places like Connecticut, where those laws have gone on the books to restrict voting hours. And it's just something that's been happening in Republican-led states largely. We haven't seen that happen so much in those Democratic-run states, but it has been because of President Trump's allegations that there has been widespread voter fraud. Those state legislatures have decided that they wanted the voting rights, in those states, making voting rights a little more difficult than in some of the Democratic-led states.
There have been same-day voter registration rules passed in certain places. Have any states made it permanent since the past few years?
There have been states to make it permanent, and those are usually states that are in the Northeast that have done so. But, we're seeing changes across the country. We're seeing changes in Connecticut, in Florida, in Mississippi. All of those states have made it more difficult for our voters to vote. And then those states that have made it easier, those like California, New York, New Jersey, they are outliers in the country with respect to voting rights and access to the polls.
Same day of voter registration is going to be something that's talked about even more. I know we only have a few seconds left. Is there anything that you want people to know in terms of getting access to the resources that you all are providing with USA Today?
Well, thank you for that, Adrienne. Absolutely. We launched a voting rights guide that is comprehensive. It's free. It's on all of the 200 plus websites for USA Today and its daily newspapers. It is a look at the laws and how they have changed from Maine to California, as well as the U.S. territory. So we'd like for you to log on, take a look at that, and educate yourself. You can also register to vote through our website, as well as confirm your registration status. So it's a public service, and we want to make it happen for everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.